Hey yo, what's up guys? I just finished and got done platinum in Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I thought it'd be fitting to make a video on my overall thoughts about the game. And what better way to do that than to make a review video about it. Before I get into the review though, if you guys want to see more game reviews, gameplay walkthroughs, game tutorials, and other content like that, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what game you want to see next. But anyways, let's get into the review. To make this simple and more easy to understand, I'm going to break this video down into different sections going over each aspect of the game and how I feel about it. At the end, I'll do my overall thoughts and review of the game as a whole. If you want to skip to a specific part of the video, timestamps will be in the description. The different sections I'm going to break this down into are the traversal, the combat, the side objectives, the side missions, the graphics, looks of the game and customization, and the story and ending of the game. First, I wanted to cover the traversal because, well, it's what you'll spend most of your time doing in the game. The traversal in this game is absolutely incredible. The physics and the overall feel of the traversal is absolutely amazing. The way the camera moves with you while swinging around a corner of a building, and the way the DualSense controller vibrates and tightens the triggers every time you swing a web, makes this game a lot more immersive and exciting, and makes the world seem much more alive. The new addition of the Venom powers in this game also adds so much more creativity to the things you can do while swinging. I'll get more into what the abilities do later on, but I will go over how they're utilized when swinging. Two Venom powers can be used while swinging. The first being Venom Jump, activating by pressing L1 and X at the same time. When used while swinging, Miles will boost himself higher in the sky using his powers. The other ability you can use is the Venom Dash, when L1 and triangle are pressed. Miles will boost himself forward, giving him more momentum and a better speed boost. Both of these things used while swinging and doing tricks in the air make swinging a very enjoyable time and much more enjoyable than the first game in my opinion. The last thing I wanted to touch on with the traversal is the very detailed and amazing looking animations while swinging and doing tricks. The way that he moves so freely in the air is absolutely amazing to look at. Although the first game did a very good job at their swinging mechanic, Miles Morales vastly improved on this already great feature, adding more fluid, less tense animations to his swinging, and making more of a smooth transition from doing tricks in the air to shooting another web. The swinging and overall traversal in this game is incredible, and my favorite part about the game. Overall, I give swinging in this game and traversal a 10 out of 10. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the combat system. Combat is an absolutely huge part of this game. Combat in Miles Morales is one of the best combat experiences I've had in any game and makes for an incredibly fun time. The fluidity in the combat is amazing. This allows you to zip from enemy to enemy with no issue. The dodging system in this game is also a big improvement from the first, letting you cancel any non-finisher animation to dodge and then allowing you to get straight back into fighting the enemy and continuing whatever combo you left off with. The biggest improvement though is the addition to the Venom powers. These add so much more combat variation than in the first game. The new abilities are the Venom Jump, launching nearby enemies into the air, the Venom Smash, damaging and knocking back enemies, the Venom Dash, that dashes toward enemies, knocking them back and hurting them, and then the basic Venom Punch. All of these can be used in tandem to make a great combo in a fun fight. Lastly, the enemies add so much more variation too. Some enemies are very weak to Venom powers, and others have the resistance to them. Some missions in the game have you fight both of these factions at the same time, which leads to a very engaging and interesting fight. Boss fights also use this mechanic, so you're not just mashing square the whole time. You actually have to think about what you're doing, which I like. Because of this, I give combat overall a 10 out of 10. Now on to a less important part of the game, side objectives. Side objectives in this game are mostly just going around the map and collecting things that add more to the overall world story. An example is going around the map and finding noises to match part of the beat. Some of these side objectives make you fight too, it's not all just collecting things. Enemy bases are around the map too, and are pretty much just the equivalent to short story missions because of the amount of enemies you need to take out. Some of these bases have depth to them, like powering a generator to get inside a room, and other tiny puzzles like that as well. These are fun the first time you do them, but as you do them the second or even the third time, it feels almost boring. After I completed mine for the first time, I found myself only going back to them if I really want to fight something, or if I needed to complete some sort of combat challenge for an achievement. These side objectives and bases have no real replayability, but are very fun the first time you do them, and because of that, I'll give them a 7 out of 10. Side missions. Side missions in this game are very entertaining. There's a vast variety in them as well. Most of these you can start from the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man app in the game. Those quests will include things like helping somebody off of a skyscraper and finding someone's lost cat. These missions do have some replayability factor because each one is so unique. There's other type of side missions too. These are based after an event that happened in the story and give both unique rewards and a unique experience. An example of a great mission is the Bodega Cat mission, which has you find Teo Bodega's lost cat named Spider-Man. This is a very entertaining mission that rewards a very fun time, but also rewards a very cool reward. After doing the mission and doing more of the story, you unlock another mission where you go to a shop again and pick up his cat and make a suit out of it. This cat stays on your back and helps you with some finishes too. That's just one example of a unique mission and a fun, creative, unique reward. Because of this, I'll give side missions a 9 out of 10. This game looks absolutely incredible. The addition of ray tracing and the 4K potential of this game is nuts. From swinging through New York in a snowy night with your neon suit that lightens the surrounding area, to swinging around in your winter coat in the daytime, Spider-Man offers a nearly unrivaled graphical experience on the PlayStation 5. The suit variety in this game also adds a lot of choice to how you use Spider-Man. Each suit looks nearly real with the detail put into them. It's almost like you can imagine touching the suit with your hand because each and every individual texture built in looks so realistic. Not only that, but with the near removal of loading times on the PlayStation 5, this game has seamless transitions from gameplay to cutscene to combat. This truly makes you feel like you're still controlling Miles even if you know that you're in a cutscene. I wanted to also include combo finishers here too, considering they're pretty much just little cutscenes. These are also very seamless effect during combat that is used very often. Every little part of the game, graphically and transition wise, is amazing and has 0 to no flaw. Because of the lack of flaws, I believe graphics and customization deserves a solid 10 out of 10. Before I get into covering the story, I want to do a quick spoiler warning just in case anybody hasn't watched the full story through. What I say next might spoil something, but I don't give any direct spoilers to the story, I only imply things. So if you don't want anything possibly spoiled for you, I recommend you click off now or skip ahead to the outro. Finally, I wanted to talk about the story and the overall ending. The story in this game was short compared to the first one, but short doesn't always mean bad. Never in the story did I feel uninterested or boring. This game does an absolutely amazing job of keeping you engaged. The main issue with the story was the pacing. Throughout the story, Miles gains new abilities and powers, but you never actually get any time to see Miles progress with these powers and get better with them. It seemed like once he got them, he mastered them in an instant. Character development in this game was fine. The issue was the rushed pace of the villain progression. The enemies in this game have no real time to develop other than the Tinkerer. The Tinkerer was a huge part of Miles' progression, so didn't need to have too much of her own because she progressed with Miles. The thing that saved the story from being bland, rushed, and uninteresting was how everything came together. Every cutscene and fight actually had a meaning. It didn't feel like I was kicking people off of buildings for no reason. It felt more like each fight meant something personal to Miles, and that to me helped make the story better. Because of that, I give the story an overall 8 out of 10. Now on to my final thoughts. I think Spider-Man Miles Morales is an absolutely great game with many more pros and cons. No matter the flaws in this game, I enjoyed every last moment of it and I kept wanting to play more. This game has a huge gameplay improvement over the first one and makes for an amazing immersive experience. Because of how bright the good parts of this game are, and because of how unnoticeable the flaws are, I give this game a solid 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to keep in mind that this is my opinion of the game. and other people have their own opinions too. So I encourage you all to go watch other review videos too, so you don't just make your opinion based off what I said. But in the meantime, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this review video, and if you'd like to see more like it, I'll continue to make more content like this. So subscribe so you don't miss out on the future content, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Peace out.